Well, this is what I'm going to be looking forward to seeing tomorrow all day. Welcome to Quebec Mega Trail and the 100-kilometer race. As usual, the day before the race was spent going to the race kit pickup. If you're looking for swag, Phil, all we got was our bib as well as our drop bags. The focus was truly on the race. From then it was on to the race briefing with some final words on the race course.
You do not want to, if you see an X sign, well, that's international, you're not on a good track.
For the 100-kilometer race, the next morning entailed catching a 4 a.m. bus to the start line, which of course meant getting up at 3 a.m. So let's just say not everyone will get a full night's rest. However, you can nap a bit on the bus on the ride there and catch the sunrise as it comes up over the river. Gorgeous sights. Upon arrival at the start area, we had about 15-20 minutes to get ready. And this is a good opportunity to get to know some of the racers, line up at the start, and get ready for the start at 5 a.m. promptly. In my mind, the race course basically consisted of 3 different sections. The first 4 legs, which we started here, takes us first very flat along the river for about 2 kilometers before heading straight up a mountain. It's almost 800 meters of climbing in that first leg. This part was a mix of single-track trail as well as some access roads to get up the final stretch up the Massif de Charlevoix. But when you finally did crest the top of it, you arrived at aid station number 1 and a chance to refill your bottles, grab some food before heading back out. As you can see here, they actually had first aid runners along the course as well, so if runners got into trouble along the route, there was usually someone not too far away that could help you. After you left the Massif de Charlevoix, we got onto what's known as the Sentier des Caps, which is a really amazing ridge running course from point to point, from basically the Massif de Charlevoix all the way back in towards Mont Ste. As you can see, these trails were just gorgeous. There was a great viewpoints along the way at different points so you could stop and take in the view before getting back onto the trail. For the most part, the weather stayed very stable throughout the day and it was sort of overcast and not super hot, which is different from what we had expected. The rain did cool us off and helped to keep us going without overheating too badly. Obviously, it's hard to have a 100k course be completely trail, so when we emerged from the Cap des Sentiers, we did do a slight gravel road for a bit before finally going through this underpass tunnel. And when we emerged on the other side, we were greeted by the cheering people to meet us at the midway point. Yep, we've made it to the 50k point, and at this section, if you wanted, you could change your shoes and enjoy a grilled cheese sandwich. After filling up on food and getting everything I needed out of my drop bag from the midpoint, it was on to the next section, legs 5 and 6. This is the 2 sections that occur before you get back to Mont Ste and have the opportunity to grab another drop bag. This section is known as the Mestichibo section and featured some incredibly tough trails. After paralleling the highway for a bit, we basically dropped down into a gorge where we had to make our way through boulder-strewn trails, cross these amazing swing bridges, and have amazing riverfront views. All in all, there was really no way you could run through the entire section, and it was pretty impressive to see that aid station perched basically on a cliff. From there it was back along some more rocky trails where we even had to have ropes to handhold us before popping out amazingly into an urban development. However, before lulling us into a false sense of security, we did go back into trails and came out of this amazing waterfall, which looked great from afar until you realized you had to climb up right beside it on those stairs. Luckily from here, you're just a short run away from the Mont Ste base station. At this point, we'd made it about 75k and had access to our final drop bags before tackling what can only be described as a brutal climb up Mont Ste directly. At this point in the race, your legs are tired, you just want to finish, but instead we had to hike all the way up the mountain. Lucky for me, it was still light out, so I did get to enjoy some of the views while I relaxed and made my way up to the top. Thankfully, there was an aid station waiting for us where we could grab some Coke, some more drinks, and fuel up for, yep, a straight down descent, almost steeper than the ascent. From there, we were back onto some trails, which was a nice break from the climbing and descending, to the final aid station of the day, which marked the 12k mark from the finish line. At this point, the light started fading for me, so I had to use my headlamp to pick out the rocks and roots as I went through the final great trails. And if you thought it was easy at the finish, they made you do a couple river crossings before finally getting to the finish line. All in all, I will say I've done a lot of races in my time, and this was one impressive race course. I loved almost every step of it and managed to complete my race in good time. Instead of medals, finishers received custom beer glasses which they could fill with beer to commemorate their race.
Well, that's it for me from this year's Quebec Mega Trail. I did the entire 100-kilometer race and highly recommend either that or the 70K option. For my efforts, I got this amazing finisher's glass.